wrap up for the live market open for Tuesday, May 17th. We've seen some movement in markets. Oil prices continue rising thanks to Goldman Sachs, thanks to perhaps some falling supply. We'll get more news on that this week. This supports commodity currencies in general. Can't say that the Canadian dollar is really standing out. There are still issues from the Canadian wildfires. The currency that is standing out is the pound. A few polls regarding the Brexit sort of cluster around higher chances for the UK to remain in the European Union. This supports the British pound quite strongly, not only against the dollar, but also against the euro and the yen, and basically everybody. Okay, in news that we had yesterday, the most significant piece of news came from Australia and the land down under. The RBA meeting minutes. They did show worries about inflation, but they did mention regulation. But moving forward, the chances for another rate hike are lower. Rate cut. The RBA is cautious, is in a wait-and-see mode, moving one step at a time. And chances for a rate cut in June to further weigh on the Aussie look lower. So the Australian dollar did bounce. New Zealand inflation expectations did not rock the boat. So let's look at currencies. As I mentioned, euro dollar is very, very stable. 113.35, 114.10, 114.60 are levels to the upside. 112.50, 112.20, and well, 111.50 to the downside. Hopefully we'll have more meaningful movements in the world's most popular currency pair. But look here, pound dollar, 145.10, rise of over 100 pips this morning. Next resistance, 145.80 and 146.50. Support at 144.40 and 143.15. Today we have a test for the pound. Dollar yen, fourth time a charm. We have this triple top of 109.50. Let's see if we can move above this level. Next resistance is 110. Support 108.40 and 107.65. Dollar CAD, the Canadian dollar, is looking better, getting closer to support there at 128.30. Further support, much stronger, 127.50. Resistance at 129.30, but more importantly, 130. Australian dollar moved one range to the upside. I'm still not sure if this is a change of direction for the Australian dollar or just a significant correction. Anyway, this is significant. This isn't a dead cat bounce. 73.46 is the current level. 73.75 resistance, followed by 74.40. Support at the bottom there at 72.40. Kiwi dollar, higher within the range. 68.40 is resistance, currently above 68. 67.20 is support. A busy day is awaiting us in terms of indicators. UK inflation, watch out for wild movements in the hour around the release. First and foremost, watch out for headline CPI year over year, then for core CPI. And probably the most important release for today is the US CPI. Core CPI is more important than headline CPI in the US. Year over year has more of a long-term impact, but also watch for the monthly figures. And at the same time, we have building permits and housing starts. Usually they offset each other, but perhaps they can go either both negative or both positive. Remember, CPI is more important. So at 12:30 GMT, there's going to be lots of action. Okay, 1:15, industrial output from the United States, probably overshadowed by the CPI 45 minutes earlier. And then the focus shifts to New Zealand. Milk prices, New Zealand, sometime in the European afternoon, US morning, and then PPI later on in the day. Both are, of course, inflation related. Let's see if they move the Kiwi more than inflation expectations did. At night, we also have GDP from Japan. It's hard for me to say what impact will be on the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen does not move too much from Japanese indicators. This could be more meaningful because if the headlines scream recession, there's lower chance for a sales tax hike by the Japanese government, and this is, of course, a form of fiscal stimulus. Also, the Bank of Japan could act. So, in theory, it should be, a positive figure, good for the yen, negative for the yen, but I really cannot. I'm not sure because I would, if you are trading this, trade it carefully. Wait to understand what's really going on in markets, because Japanese figures and the yen, doesn't always make sense together. Okay, what does make more sense is Australian figures. Last but not least, at 1:30 GMT, the wage price index, higher figure, stronger Aussie, lower figure, lower Aussie. The RBA watches this. Simple and straightforward. Okay, so we covered yesterday's events, the charts, and today's events. Before we head off, let's take another look and see if we have more questions. Okay, Luca feels a bit lonely sharing charts here. Anyway, I'm very glad you're sharing charts. I hope you don't feel lonely. Please, I hope you're encouraged, and I hope others also share charts. You're all welcome to do so. Don't let Luca feel lonely. Anyway, the last chart, oil view, may try to carve out an inverse hidden shoulders from here, down from to then back up. So let's open this. So if you see a potential significant correction before another move up, you're looking alongside this uptrend resistance line. This is WTI crude oil. Yeah, makes sense. The line you're looking at the bottom is 37.80. Okay. Yeah, that was both support and resistance. Yeah, it's also a line I was eyeing for a long time. That was the August 2015 low. Yeah, makes sense. Well, for me, the next fundamental event for oil prices is tomorrow's crude oil inventories release. And Tyrek also shares a chart with us. DXY, some targets for the DXY. Okay, so here we have quite a few levels to the. Looks like the trend remains also on this chart to the upside, and we fell at strong resistance. Now we're at sort of pivotal line, and then there's more room, I guess, to the upside, right? So 9,147, 950. Okay, makes sense. And yeah, further levels above. Yeah, okay. So thanks, Sirek, as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. As usual, a wrap-up will be available, and the full show available on the FX Rate website. That's it. Wish everybody a safe and successful trading day. It's a busy one today. European traders are back. I mean, those that have been on holiday, and there are quite a few releases throughout the morning and the afternoon, and also at night. Okay, so that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Thank you, and bye-bye.